And hello everybody, this is the final session of Lake's International Comic Art Festival live on Sunday, and yeah, we're feeling sad already like we usually do at our physical festival. But to end the night, we're going to have a little bit more fun and a little bit of frippery as well. And we had advertised this as the VIZ shopping channel. It is now the VIZ not going shopping channel, because as always with the wonderful VIZ, we gave them a brief and they completely ignored it. And they're now using it as an opportunity to flog as many copies of this as possible, which is their forthcoming annual for 2021. And they're doing that by virtue of a competition. So there are 10 questions and there are 10 prizes. So one question for one prize. And we ran 2 questions on Friday, we ran 4 questions yesterday, and if my math's correct, we're running another 4 right now. All 10 will be available as soon as this video is finished, and you need to make sure you include your name and address in order to win one of those prizes. And I hand over to the inimitable VIZ.
Played the character of Raffles in the 1977 TV series Raffles Devil Thief. Is the name of Farmer Farmer's son? Stroke, stroke, southern, etc.
Well, that's all, folks, from VIZ. Some may say that's a relief, others may say give us more. If you want to see those 10 questions again, you can go on to our website and experience them one more time. There are only so many times that you want to watch Simon Thorpe, however, removing his dog thingies. I was going to say the wrong word there for YouTube, from the side of a road. But anyway, I never tire of it. So we're over, or back to Martin Rowson, who was with us yesterday. And thanks again, Martin, for an immensely popular presentation. It is actually, at this moment, the most popular, most watched video of the whole festival. How does that feel?
Hey, I'm really pleased because I was hoping it was going to be the VIZ boys poncing around on their vast Surrey plantations, which we've just seen, counting their unfeasibly large amounts of money. But so hooray!
It's great, isn't it? And you've changed your hat even for the occasion, which is fantastic.
I got it. I'm very fond of this hat. I got this hat in a city in Italy, the name of which I didn't catch.
Ah. So answers on a postcard. Anyone got any ideas what that village might have been called or could be called?
It was a city.
It was a city, sorry, not a village. I'm so sorry. A city.
And then why somebody said, I said, I need to buy a hat. He said, let's go to this place. Great hat shop. He never told me where I was. Apparently it's the oldest library in Europe.
There you go. Maybe we can sleuth it that way. Anyway, thank you. And you're now back because not only have you completed the cartooning challenge that was set yesterday, we also have a gaggle of people who've actually also submitted, and actually not just to the same cartooning challenge. They've chosen, some of them, another one. As you're much more eloquent than I, would you mind explaining what was chosen and why you went for what you went for?
Well, you know, as they say, the public wrote in with various options to challenge me and then for me to challenge you lot with coming up with a political cartoon. And some of them were immediately rejected. I think one involving Ed Davey on the basis that nobody knows what Ed Davey looks like, least of all Ed Davey himself. Therefore, it won't work as a cartoon. But we narrowed it down to either the cabinet re-skilling as rock musicians because they're getting jobs in the arts because their own jobs are so useless, to echo Rishi Sunak's rather unfortunate comments earlier on this week. And the other one was Trump and Biden preparing for their next debate, which is what I went with. And the people who entered the competition, bless them, went with either of those, and somebody went with something else completely, as you'd expect.
Always. And I think maybe this is the time to reveal your stunning piece of work, because I believe that you finished it before 7 o'clock last night, which is
more or less,
pretty quick, but I guess that's normal. That's normal for you.
4 hours,
yeah. And so we're sharing it now. We have it up already on our website for people who want to go and ogle. Can you tell us a bit more about how you approached it?
Well, I was thinking, as one does when one has one's brief, which actually is the news usually, as far as I'm concerned. And you think, what's good? How can I handle this? How can I handle this? And I was thinking, well, okay, well, Trump is actually folded to pieces in front of our eyes. How are they going to sort him out? Well, actually, let's work on the basis that he has been hollowed out. He is dead. And they're just going to use his skin. These little demons are going to use his skin. And there's one climbing in at the top saying, okay, guys, wish me luck. And he's going to be piloting this kind of Trump golem. And otherwise, they're just getting him match fit by pumping him full of, what is it? It's diced coyote and skunk semen in bleach from one side, and rohypnol and rat gland soup from the other, as they're getting him ready to roll in. And this is the first time I've actually drawn Joe Biden. I'm rather pleased with that Joe Biden. There he is at his podium, which is in fact a Zimmer frame. He's not in a first blush of youth. So that's what I came up with, which I'm quite pleased with. And whoever wins, which is entirely in my gift, is going to get that unless they tell me they don't want it.
Great. So shall we just scroll through? Maybe you can make a comment on each one, just very brief one.
It's interesting. A lot of the people who went into this have been entering the Twitter challenges I've been running since last December. This is a guy called John LeBrock, who is mostly a comics artist, who apparently was inspired to start drawing again he's a filmmaker as well, by these challenges. And he tweeted about that today.
Good news. Good news.
Rather nice. Jimmy Savile is going to help the cabinet.
I don't want to know, we don't want a discussion about how.
Let's move on.
Exactly.
Not good at cross-hatching there. This is a guy called Joe Lawrence, who his handle is Joe Ackenbush, who actually has won the Twitter challenge I've been posing, as I said, since in different competitions since December. And he's a sort of fantastic artist. He's really visceral and dark, and you can imagine what it's like inside his head, but you wouldn't want to go there unless you were him. But I think he's an absolutely fantastic artist, and that is a really nice Biden. actually.
Yes.
We're all used to drawing Trump. Everybody does Trump now, but Biden is somebody we need to capture, and that's a good Biden. Anyway, didn't win, but you can't have everything. Again, this is Pete Songy, also enters the challenges a lot. And there's the Grim Reaper holding up debate number 2. I think it's the Grim Reaper, unless it's somebody in a burqa. And both of them are being wheeled on because they're both practically dead, which is both got flies whizzing around them. And flies, remember the fly that landed on Pence's head during the vice presidential debate earlier on this week.
Yep.
Flies are a bit of a theme in this competition. So then we get to Tom Johnston. Tom's a great bloke. He's just finished an illustration course. I met him about 5-6 years ago when he was in his teens, and he's been a sort of keen amateur cartoonist. He did a fantastic thing. His sister is a nurse in London, and during lockdown, he filled the window of her flat with heads of the government, like it was cartoon heads of the government, like it was the Kremlin on May Day, and they were sort of rolling the troops and the weapons past, so they were just staring out of his sister's flat window, which was brilliant. And here he's got members of the government reskilling, Boris Johnson saying unfortunate things, rather nice Rishi Sunak as Freddie Mercury there. But I think Tom is somebody we need to watch for the future. He's been drawings since he came out of the womb, as far as I can tell. I was first aware of his stuff years ago when he sent some of it to me. So very nice there, Tom. And this is from Stu Art, as he calls himself. Again, is a very, very nice bit of work, and actually a good gag. You haven't a hope in hell. They're my biggest fans. They're my biggest fans. And in the latest competition we had on Twitter, he did an absolutely beautiful drawing of Tim Martin of Wetherspoons as the British Lion, and you could tell Stu was actually channeling Mervyn Peake, which is an amazing sight.
Wow.
Channeling Mervyn Peake to be recommended. So then, moving on from that one, this is another guy who regularly enters the Twitter things I put on. An amateur cartoonist, as he himself would admit, but he is very enthusiastic. One of these people who obviously just loves drawing, which we should encourage on all fronts.
Agreed.
That's Biden doing a bit of bullfighting with Trump. And again, another frequent enter, Nick Williams, who does some really beautiful Gilray and Hogarth pastiches, which I recommend you go and have a look at his Twitter feed, because you'll see them there. Stand Back Leatherman, one doesn't really want to delve too deeply into that one, I think. Let's move on. Just the image is so horrific. I don't know Rob Price, but this is he opted to go for the Priti Patel repelling asylum seekers, and it's just a nice piece of work there with the Acme Giant Heater Company. And James Mellors, private eye cartoonist, real old pro. He this made me laugh out loud actually, and he won the Twitter challenge previously with a fantastic drawing, topically enough, of when we had the Draw Robert Jenrick challenge back in May, and he just had Robert Jenrick as standing off against an elephant seal bull. Just absolutely clever. But Jenrick, as you may have noticed in the news today, has been giving public money to his mates, and his mates have been giving public money to his constituency and things like that. A man who cannot see what's wrong with what he's doing. Whenever he does something unbelievably stupid and borderline corrupt, he just looks vague. I mean, what's the problem? What's wrong? I'm talking about Jenrick. I'm not talking about James. Anyway, James is a great cartoonist. Next one, please. And this one, actually, it's last but not least, because this is the one I've chosen to win, because I just thought this had a wonderful kind of narrative flow to it. And this is, after all, the Comic Arts Festival. And although I do single panel stuff, I also do narratives. And Jace Toons, again, somebody who enters a lot of the stuff I do on Twitter. And he's riffed on that idea of the fly landing on Pence's head. And there you have Biden, who's actually got a radio-controlled fly. And the fly is actually going to bomb the top of Trump's head, which is like the Death Star. And it's got a little hole. And so I'm pointing to the screen. You can't see what I'm pointing at. But if you look carefully, you can see there's a hole at the back of Trump's head, which he's going to, that's the one, thanks very much for that cursor, which a fly is going to drop down. And it's just a lovely little, taking an idea for a walk, which is what cartoons should be about. And well done, Jace.
Well done, Jace! Yay! Yay! And I mean, quite an accolade and quite a prize as well. Thank you very much, Martin, for that.
That's a pleasure.
And we'll direct message. Is that the right social media term? We'll direct message Jason and get some information.
He and I think follow each other, so he can get in touch and he can send me his address.
Oh, even better, because I don't want to go to the post office, if that's okay with you.
You don't have to go to the post office. I'll go to the post office.
Excellent. Wow, friends for life. Thank you very much. And can you tell us what you're going to be working on next? Then have you got a cartoon in the pipe?
Well, I did one this morning for tomorrow's Daily Mirror. So I went for the Mirror as well as the Guardian. I go straight to Kevin Maguire's column, which I'm rather pleased with. But I'm not going to tell you what it is because it hasn't been published yet.
Absolutely, I wouldn't ask.
They get rather leery about that. But tomorrow is another day, and I will never know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's probably going to be about whatever new regulations Johnson announces, but it might not be because something more important might happen. We might be invaded by space weasels.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. The trees might rise up and see us off. Who knows? Who knows? But, as I said, tomorrow's another day. That's what makes this job interesting, is it keeps on changing. You have to be quick on your feet and quick in your mind and sort of work out what you're going to do pretty sharp tomorrow morning. And then I spend, as I said yesterday, I then calm down by spending 4 hours doing watercolours. Fantastic.
Well, whatever the day might bring, thanks again from all of us here at Licaf. You've made it an extra special weekend for us.
It's been a pleasure. I'm just sorry I wasn't there in person to help you drink. Well,
hopefully next year you can come and help us drink in Kendal. Even better.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you so much. See you soon.
Okay. See ya. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so thank you again to Martin Rowson. That was absolutely brilliant. And we've got another competition winner to announce as well. It's all winners tonight. It's actually a competition that was developed by John Freeman, who is the star member of our team, a real stalwart, and is responsible for getting the word out there about Licaf wide and far. And he came up with a race into space competition. We had some really great entries, but he's going to tell you more about it himself because he's prepared a really nice little video, and he will announce the winner.
Good afternoon, everyone, and here's another announcement from the Lakes International Comic Art Festival, brought to you with thanks to the Arts Council as our prime funder and our main sponsor, Lenovo, and all our other supporters. I'm John Freeman, and I'm the editor and publisher of DownTheTube.net, and you may know me for my work as a writer and editor for various British comics companies, including Marvel UK, Titan, and others. And I'm delighted to announce the winners of the Race into Space Challenge, which is supported by the new gaming platform VIZ based in Lancaster. And more about that in 2021. Without further ado, let's move on to the honourable mentions in the challenge. And we had quite a lot of entries from a wide range of creators from across the world, both humorous, adventure, action-driven, funny, challenging, curious, and some great, very young creators who will be sending them Carol from the Stars book as a by way of thank you too, because they were very enjoyable. Anyway, without further ado, here are the honourable mentions for the Race into Space Challenge. And thank you to everyone who entered. Thank you to Video for the £500 prize for the winner, who we'll get to in a bit. And to Andrew Marksall at B7 Media for being my co-judge on this project. And I think we've made some wise choices. But I certainly hope so. I hope you do too. So here we go. First, thank you, B7 Media. First mention goes to Peter Horton for his Space Axolotl, which made us all laugh out loud, including people who weren't really into comics who saw it during the judging process. Next is Gavin Pollock for his spaceship, which had a very nice Mobius feel to it, followed by David Livins for Blast the Bunny, which was just great fun. Then we have Martin Cater for Lightning 5, which had a lovely homage to classic 1960 TV, including Supercar and Fireworks Are Applied, if anybody here remembers that. I do, but then I am ancient. And we also had a wonderful entry from Naomi De Silva, which quite caught me by surprise with this ending. And I should mention that these strips will be hopefully appearing in a digital anthology subject to the Creators Commission, which will be available free on the Lakes International Comic Art Festival Tampa site. Now, who was the winner? That's what you really want to hear. That's why you've been waiting. So here we go. The winner is James Newell with Space Vampire, which is absolutely incredible. And as you can see online, you can catch more of his work on his website on Tumblr. Thank you, James. Your work was truly astonishing. And of course, you can also find his work in Patnell's Spacewalk comic, which is available now from Amazon and other outlets, including Get My Comics. So, thanks again to everyone who entered into the competition. Thanks to you for watching this announcement. And I look forward to seeing you in the real world in 2021 in Kendall. Goodbye for now.
Great. Thanks, John. And congratulations, James, who I believe has actually sent in a quote to say that he's really honoured and really encouraged by his win. So well done. So that's it. That's the end of it. But it isn't, unlike the Physical Festival, because we actually have a ton of material now for you to explore online. It will be up for several months, and there is a very kind of clear, I hope, description on the website of the different elements which you can go into, and then a very, hopefully very easy to use website so that you can enjoy some of the content that's on there. We've had some incredible kind of views over the weekend. We had a large number of views for most of the stuff that's up there. So take your time, and I'll give you now just a quick overview of what's available. We'll go over to our website homepage, I think, and I will just quickly talk you through what's on there at the moment. So we've got an Explore section, which is the section you would need to focus on, which has a different view, which includes a number of exhibitions. Two are about artists. One is Igor from Italy, and the other is Toybox from the Czech Republic. And we can see them here. And well done, and thank you to Richard Foster and Joe Gamble for putting those together. They have gone down really well over the weekend. And then two exhibitions, one about weird comic book panels, which is Laugh Out Loud, and the other one, for different reasons, Laugh Out Loud, mostly the Corona Cartoon of the Year. Both of those, the work of Peter Kessler with Sim Leach in assistance. And you can now see, when you explore that, who has won the much sought after Corona, I think it's called, prize. The best Corona cartoon has been awarded today. If we go back to the other sections, we have Comics Up Close, which includes a thinking comics section, which is like a TED Talks of comics by a wide range of different creators. It's got varied styles, and some of them are more academic, others less so, but they have a range of very challenging and very interesting issues that they address. And we're very proud of that particular section. Each video is around 15 minutes each. We also have Desert Island Comics, which is, well, for those of you who know Desert Island Discs, I might not need to describe it, but we talked to 8 very well-known creators about their choice of comics to take to a desert island, as well as their luxury item, favourite biscuit, and favourite flavour of crisps. And as you will see, we've got Dave Gibbons, Posey Simmons, Mark Miller, A bit of a roll call, really. Hannah Berry, Eric Reynolds, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Paul Cornell, Charlie Adlard. So a really great lineup. Each of those videos is around 30 minutes each. And another section in there is Comics Cloud and Kendall Mint Cake, or is it the other way around? But anyway, it's getting late in the day. It's a series of videos where we've taken creators into the Lake District landscape, into Kendall where we're based, and looked at some of their inspirations, or even in the case of The Tale of One Bad Rat, looked at locations where a comic was actually created and based on. So those are, we're very proud of those. They bring our location to life, as well as some really interesting comics. Section number 3 is coming up, and it is Daft as a Brush, which is a series of off-the-wall challenges, cartoon challenges. We've thrown out a number of those to 3 creators from Denmark, from Iceland, and Zoom Rockman from the UK. And there are some absolutely fantastic videos on there, including one of the cutest dog in the universe. I will say no more. And then we've got the shopping channel from VIZ, which we changed to Don't Go Shopping, because they ignored our brief and are now just flogging their annuals by way of competition. And again, you can see those competition questions online right now. There's a personality quiz, and there was a big comic pub quiz, which we actually announced our Comics Clever Clog of 2020 earlier on today. Do It Yourself, a series of workshops. They are being recorded. The last one is running right now, and we will be putting those online next week for those of you who weren't able to attend. Infinity and Beyond is a section curated by Glenn Southern of Southern GFX, and it's a really interesting future of comics section, looking at VR and its interface with comics and other things besides, and it features 2 absolutely brilliant interviews with 2 people who are at the vanguard of that kind of work. And then we have our very precious little Licaf section, which has been created and run by Hester Harrington and Sim Leach from our team. And it has some absolutely brilliant workshops, comics readings by Stephen Holland, colouring sheets, other resources, storytelling, you name it, it's there. And then our section, which we love. Every year at the festival, it's the most popular part of what we do, and it's called Showing Off. And as the name suggests, it's artists doing what they do best, drawing live. And you can see a number of videos, including one which draws on inspirations from Japan, featuring 4 of our great live drawers from previous festivals. We've visited Sean Phillips' studio, and that video will be live soon too. We spent time with Luke McGarry, and we've got Past the Panel, which for me is probably the event, or video rather, that so much sums up the festival and what it's about. It's international, it's collaborative, it's fun, it's very clever. And we have some additional videos by some of our international collaborators. So alongside the virtual comics clock tower, which you can visit from this website page as well, that in a very big nutshell is essentially it. We've had a lot of fun. I want to thank again our main funder, Arts Council England, our main sponsor, Lenovo, our amazing team, Creative Concern, all our team members. There are way too many to mention because I can't remember all of them right now. And it's been a blast. And so to finish off, we're going to replay one of our highlights from the festival, our festival house band, The Viral Load, playing White Light.